All right, everybody, welcome back for yet another wonderful Tuesday. I wish I could say you're joining us on a super sunny fall day here in Denmark where everything is just beautiful and these autumn colors and the blue sky and the sun that's just heating up your jackets. And that's unfortunately not the case. We have officially reached the break. We
Yeah.
are now in the gray and the cold and the windy and the rainy, which I think makes the topic of today quite relevant, being how you sort of need to change your mindset. Um, so I hope that I can get a little bit inspired in how to kind of deal with my winter phobia that's coming on pretty strong. And we have Life here. How are you doing, Life, with the weather change?
I have the same feeling of autumn here. It's always kind of a blue note for me. Somehow I love the colors, and on the other hand, I really love the sun. And the sun is gone. But
Yeah.
you're right. It's also it's a good and blue thing here in the north, right?
I mean, we at least appreciate summer that much more, I think, because we also have to deal with this dark month.
Yeah, exactly. Up here in the north. But then it's good that we can play.
Yes. So, everybody who is joining in, we would love to hear from you. So, if you want to just make a comment and say, Hi, I'm joining in from sunny Spain, you can also just write Spain. You don't have to write sunny to make us sad. And we would love to hear who's joining us today. There we go. All right.
Yeah, we
So, while you guys get acquainted with the comment field, I'm just going to quickly introduce us today. It's just going to be Life and me, the dream team. And we are going to look into the game Agile Mindset Training, which is a DFDS game. DFDS game. And Life is here today. He was part of co creating this game as well as being the founder and CEO of this wonderful company that we call Acti. Would you like to make a quick sound?
I like to make a quick sound, and I like to start by making Anna's sound. I hope Anna's is listening in too, because Anna's was also a great part of building this game, and two great people from DFDS were also part of designing and creating the games. They had some great ideas. I guess we're going back to that later. But and I'm live. I'm the CEO and I'm the founder of Acti, and I spent my entire life on games and Acti, which I really love. So um, I guess that's enough about me, isn't it? There's 6 months to the
Oh,
sailing season. So
yeah.
what is there to be said?
Yeah, it looks like we have some people joining in here. We have
Nice.
George from South Sudan. We have Juan, who is expecting
Ah,
a sunny mountain day. I'm really happy for you, Juan. And then we have Taru from Finland. I guess you are a little bit in the same circumstances with us in this transforming into the darkness, but we will get through this together.
yeah,
And
and
hopefully this event is going to be that little ray of sunshine on your day that's going to bring your energy back up.
we hope so too.
Yeah.
Shuang is calling in from Colorado. Still dark. I guess it's still morning for him there. Good
Oh.
morning over there on the other side of the pond. Welcome. Nice to join. And I know Finland is 1 hour ahead, so probably getting off work there in Finland. So, but
Hmm.
welcome in.
All right. So a quick agenda of today or of the next hour, which we are already well into. Unfortunately, the time always flies with this. But first, we're going to discuss very shortly about Acti. I'm thinking that most of you know who we are and what we do, but we're going to make a quick and brief introduction for those who don't. Then we are going to talk a little bit about the game that we will be looking into today, just give you the background knowledge so that you understand, hopefully, right away what you're supposed to do and how things are pieced together. And then you get to play the game. And then while you do that, Life is going to play the game with me online here so you can follow along. And in the end, if we have time for questions, that is always great. So that is the plan of the day. And we're going to try to keep our time slots for each section, but we will see how much great discussion we get to dive into instead.
Maybe we should say that before I present this slide, because this is my slide, as you are going to say in a
The
second.
live
Uh,
slide.
yeah, exactly, my slide. And before, if you have any comments in the chat, just add them in the chat. There will be people able to respond and so on while we speak. So
Yeah, good catch. Thank you, live. Do you want to continue?
yeah, oh, I love that. You're supposed to say that. You're supposed to say how much I love it, so I don't
So
have to.
this, okay, I'm sorry. This is Live's favorite slide. It is on every single one of our PowerPoints. I think that
Yeah,
Live has a script burned into his brain
yes.
with exactly what he says about this slide.
Yeah, it's because I, as the founder and owner of Acti, I'm of course hugely, tremendously proud about what we have achieved already and what we are achieving with our partners out there in the world. So it really makes me, I enjoy saying that we've been here for 15 years. We are solid rooted into the gaming and simulation industry. We've been working with theories and methods through the last 15 years, and we really have a solid base of clients who's using it, and we have 2,500 now who's certified, and that means that they have gone through a training from online training from us that allows them to be calling themselves certified Acti users worldwide. And it's a combination of clients who's we call them enterprises or consultants, but they are always someone who's facilitating our games out there in the world. And the picture behind is just showing how many people is logging into Acti every month. So we basically cover the whole world, and I'm just so I have it on screen here. I'm in the development department, and we monitor where people are logging in from, and we have people online 24/7. I'm just so proud about it. So thank you everyone who's listening in, who's part of that. Thank you for that, Ida. Enough of Acti.
Welcome. All right. Enough of Acti. Not quite enough of Acti, but we're moving swiftly on.
Yeah.
So at Acti, we are, of course, creating simulation games, or having a platform at least where simulation games can be built on. And these are, it's a little bit of a small picture, but this is a list of our most addressed pains. And I really love the question, what is your favorite pain? But unfortunately, we don't have a guest to kind of confuse with that question. But Live, would you like to quickly make a choice?
Yeah, I think my biggest pain there is the ESG and the green agenda. That is high on my agenda, and I'm so proud about all the games we've developed for that space, and I'm super proud about the engagement we have with Roskilde University on building green games for the green transformation that the whole world is going through. So that's totally my top number one, but it's not the top number one for everybody out there. The top number one is the change, everything within the change area. I guess it's still somewhere 70% of every game that is played around the world is around the topic of change. So, but we do cover a lot. So as you can see, there is a lot of topics that we cover with games. So.
Absolutely. And just like in real life, of course, none of these things can really be separated. So, of course, we can try to make a game purely about ESG or the green agenda, but we could never really leave out the change management part of that, because, of course, there would need to be some change management and implementing a new green agenda. So that's kind of the beauty and the beast, I guess, in this complicated simulation mapping, is that it is like real life, but it is also difficult to separate into the core then.
Yeah.
But today we are also looking into a change pain. And just briefly to say that actually we can work online fully like we're going to today, and we can also work fully physically. So you can see on the pictures furthest to the right here that they are standing in front of a physical floorboard, like the ones behind me here. And then there's actually the most popular way of working with Acti, which is the hybrid. So you have both the physical floorboard you can stand around and get a feel of in your bones, but you also get the high tech of using the digital version where you can get it up on the screen, see all of the data, and make some really cool profiles on each other. But today, as mentioned, we are fully online. And the game today we are going to look into is a game created by DFDS with Live as well. And I was hoping, Leif, that you would want to, just before we play the game, just a few comments about that process, about why did they make this game? Why a game?
Yeah, there was two persons from DFDS who had been exposed to our games, and they were really fond of one of the games, which is also still the most used games, which is an IT implementation game. 60% of all changes in the world are related to IT changes, and they also really enjoyed that game. But they had some issues with both. One thing was the underlying theories. They like to have added other theories into it. So that was one thing that they would like to have changed. And the other one was that they would like to have less text and more easy play. So they wanted to take some options out and also change a little bit in the movement. And this game is changed. I think it's 5 years ago. At that time, the game builder was not as advanced as it was now. So both Anders and I were very much involved in designing the games. We had to add the new theory into it. We had to change a lot of things inside the game, but they basically wanted the game to scale agile, or the theme of the game was to scale agile into the organization. So a little bit out of IT into the rest of the organization. And 5 years back, it might even be six, having that mindset was quite a new thing to think about, you actually don't consider agile or agility as a thing that only goes to IT, but actually goes to the whole organization. So instead of having someone telling you what to do, you had much more sprints ideas. You had much more influential by the lower part of the pyramid inside the organization, and less power to the top level, and so on. So that was quite a brave thing, and they wanted to scale that idea of agility into the top management team around the world. And I think they had a kickoff where they had 200 people on a cruise ship in Copenhagen. I remember being invited to come and speak there with the top 200 managers. That was like the kickoff before it went all the way out to the rest of the organization. So that's the idea. So they wanted to scale agile mindset into out of IT and into the rest of the organization. So
And you said that was kind of a new way of dealing with culture
agile.
change, or like.
No, it was another way of dealing with agile in the organization. At that time, change were kind of 5 years ago. Everybody knows about change, but it was still like the concept, and that it was becoming normal that you were working with change. And agile was just a fresh new thing on the scene. And we all know today that agile comes out of lean and it's constant improvement things. But taking agile out of IT into the rest of the organization, that was new. That was a new concept, and thinking we need everybody in the organization to understand what does it mean to be working agile, what the sprint means. And I remember that Anders and I were struggling a lot with finding a theory matching, thinking about how can we implement it into the game, because to us it was also a new thing. And agile was not like a formed theory similar to change. Change has a lot of theoretic frameworks to pick from. Agile did not have that. It was not even, I think the description of agile was still a vague thing at that time. So, but I think we managed quite well in this game with that story. But it was a challenge mentally, and it was also technically a challenge, because the game builder was not as advanced as it is today. That was basically, I don't know, I think it was the third or fourth game that we built ever. I think it was Anders' first design game. So yeah.
All right. And then how long has it been since you played this game last time live?
To be honest, 3 years maybe. I might have clicked my way through it without remember. I can't really remember that much about it, but I'm going to win.
Curious to hear about your thoughts on this now, then so many years after, and whether or not you still find that the theoretical layer that you and Anders created is relevant and suiting.
I think for the agile process, I do still find it. If I remember, do you have slides on the theory that are we going to discuss?
Yeah, I do. We'll get there.
Okay, great. Yeah, super.
All right, so let me just quickly say a little bit about the actual game content, the world that we are entering, so to speak. So in this game, BCW is the company name, and it does stand for Best Company in the World.
Exactly.
I wonder who made this game. Anyway, uh, DCW is a world-class company, and they are basically they've been on top of the market in their industry for as long as they can remember. They've always been successful in what they've done, and basically everything has always gone pretty smooth and easy. But now they would like to move from having been a classic waterfall organization. They would like to change into this agile workplace. And then here we go again with I think it was you, Juan, who mentioned as well, both change and culture. Like, again, this is what we're focusing on because we would like, of course, to have a change of mindset, but the culture and the working environment, of course, also need to be working in order for the agile mindset to kind of really live up to its full potential. So you are basically a leader in this game or a manager in this game who has to kind of get the whole organization, both managers but also employees, on board in this process. So it's not a super easy task to kind of break into.
I agree.
And the theories that Leif mentioned that are involved, there are three main theories. There's the heart of agile, there's the resistance movements, and then there are Daniel Goleman's 6 leadership styles. And Leif, would you like to say a little bit about why you have chosen to combine these three theories? I mean, the resistance movements and Daniel Goleman we normally put together, but what is this heart of agile?
It was the theory that we were looking for, and I'm going to Camilla Schäfer, who was responsible, and Bettina, who was responsible at DFDS, we were kind of looking for a model, and one of them mentioned the Heart of Agile model as one framework that we could actually go with, and they knew about Alistair Cockburn, and then I just looked it up, had a few dialogues with him about it, and then we found out that it was quite interesting to use that, and we could narrow his approach to agile down to 4 different areas. So we could narrow it down to deliver or collaborate or improve or reflect. That was like the 4 main, in his idea of agile, working agile, is the main 4 areas of actions that you could do, basically. And it complied quite well to organizing the options in the game. So that's why we went with that. It's an easy, if you have 4 areas learning-wise, it's an easy model to understand. And on the same hand, it allowed you to discuss what agile area are you actually focusing on in your options. And the picture that you have on the screen there on the left side, you can see that the person who played that game has actually been taking a lot of deliver choices and been focusing on delivering on time or delivering whatever that we have that we're collaborating on, and they have also been reflecting a lot but less on improvement. So that means that they have not been improving the work process. They have not been reflecting on what should we have been improved, and that can be for several reasons. It can be because the person is not used to that or whatever, but that's the cause of reflection. So the theory is supposed to be a wall to reflect with players on, and this 4-area model is great for that. So,
and in the ideal world, would these 4 be equal big parts, or is there some kind of strategy that you should definitely deliver more than you reflect, or?
yeah, I don't think I don't remember it that closely, but he doesn't have like a step process model similar to John Cotter, where you're supposed to create sense of urgency before you move on to. It's not organized in that way, and we were more looking for a model that give you an idea about. So all of the initiatives that you have done, where have you put your focus to reflect with people who's playing, and that model actually did that quite well. I can't remember whether he says that you have to distribute your resources on a specific way onto it. I don't think so. I think I would have remembered it, but I'm going to check it out after this session.
Yeah.
So yeah, it might be in the facilitation guide actually.
We shall have a look.
we shall have a look. And then, of course, the resistance level is there because we have to have it on the board. I guess you showed that in a section. And
Yeah.
Goldman is like the leadership approach. It's a great way of thinking about. So when you go out there and you focus on deliver your deliver on time or deliver your tasks, and you focus on reflecting, you can do that in certain ways. And Goldman is just great at giving you that mindset. So you should actually think about being able to deliver it at these 6 ways as a leader, and regardless of whether you have formal leadership or you have informal leadership, you can think about how am I communicating my approaches to the organization or to my colleagues. So Goldman is always a great way of understanding your own way of being in the world. So
For sure. Thank you, Live. I hope that that made the theory layers a little bit more simple for you guys, because now you are going to get the link in about 2 minutes. I'm just going to show you how to log in first. So what you do is I have clicked the link that is coming in the chat in 1 minute for you. And what happens is that you get invited into our guest login page here, where you see the please add your guest name. So that is what you do. I will just be Ida. And you can continue to choose a position. It's not super relevant right now, but it does create a pretty cool feature that I'm going to show a little bit later. So then you arrive to the game page itself. And what you do is you just press the play game and you should be off. Now, you can skip the tutorial because I'm actually going to give you one right here live on the board. This is our cycle game board, and what you see is the circle consisting of 24 steps or squares. You have the resistance levels here, saying, so if you are way out in the outer circle, you are in the highest resistance level. If you are closer to the center, you are not in resistance. This little arrow is the boat. That is your mission. That is what is happening. And these little dots are your people. The mission is to have all of your people in your boat having traveled all the way around the cycle of change. Then you've done really, really well. Now, the stakeholders are all going to move in each choice depending on how they feel about what you have made them do. So basically what you do is you have 100 hours that you can contribute. You get to choose them here. I will really suggest reading them well because it does make a difference. And I also suggest that you go into your team and read a little bit about them, because that is also going to give you some key takeaways in your team understanding of this best company in the world. And then they are runningly going to have some pop-up comments that I think you should also really take into account. But basically, you follow the green and orange buttons to continue, and then you basically just make your choices. Did I forget to mention anything important, Live?
I don't think so. I'm already started, but it might be worth saying that all of the conflicts that you're trying to solve, the things that you're trying to do, was things that they predicted would be part of the implementation or scale Agile into the organization. So it's quite realistic and live what they actually came up with, and it's a great, and the people are responding according to issues that they are actually experiencing or experienced at DFDS. So I think it's quite cool. I can see I'm already struggling with 2 people. So
Wow, that's really cool.
3 actually.
Good job, Live. Okay, for you joining us online, the link has been set, and you just click the link and join us on the guest profile. Maybe if you have an active user and use it a lot, you might have to open an incognito just to make sure you don't log in, have any login trouble. And if you're joining from the mobile, there should be a message any minute coming in now about how that works, because it's a little different. But let us know in the comments if there's any issues at all with getting in. And have fun. Live, you started playing. I'm going to pull up the host view here on my end so that we can follow what's happening.
I just want to make sure that we have the right. We have to remember to add the link for the mobile phone also. So following the script, there it comes. All right, great. It's in the chat now. Super.
Perfect.
Ida, I just made one option. Is that correct for me, or would you like me to make more than one?
I would love for you to make the entire chapter 1 questions, actually. And
Okay.
while you do that, I'm just going to explain in brief what the chapter 1 is about.
Mhm.
So, in the first chapter here, you've basically had you've been to this conference where you've been really inspired about the agile ways, and you get back and you're just super excited, sort of riding this wave of inspiration, and you pull all of your closest leaders together and you say, okay, we have to do this, we have to utilize this. And what you expected to be like a aha moment for these leaders actually turns into at least half of them being pretty stunned, or at least not super optimistic about what you are suggesting. So if you don't have the managers on board with you, of course, this is never going to be a success to get it out in the entire company. So you kind of have this assumption that it's because they don't understand what the true value of doing this actually means. So this is where the first chapter sort of leaves you. What do you do now? How do you then get through to both the managers, but also, of course, the rest of the organization? All right, Leif, have you decided how you're going to get through to it?
I'm in the middle of. I'm really thinking about it because I really want to do good here. So I'm trying to. I'm really trying to do my best.
All right, I'm going
Can you
to
see
make
what I've
you.
done? I don't think my points. I'm at 20 points. I'm spending my resources wrong. Okay, let's get going. That's my next option. I'm going to go a little bit fast. Can you see my options there? Oh, I make -2 on that one. I move nobody. That was
Yeah.
not a good option.
So we're seeing actually live on your board right now, there are a lot of people in front of the boat. How exactly are you supposed to understand that?
Yeah, it's actually gaming wise. It's supposed to illustrate for everybody who's playing that you can be in a situation where you actually have people who might be pre-involved in the project and they are in front because they're thinking, and now they're in the inner cycle, which is great. It's okay. They're just in front. They're more involved than the rest. They are not complaining. They just have more knowledge, or they have grasped it more fastly than the rest. They already trying out. We're in the beginning of the chain, so they are likely to test out things. They learn things, and they're happy about what is happening to the organization, to them, and the culture, and they're going along fine. So you can be in front. That's not a problem. You can also be way behind the boat, which is not a problem. It's only becoming it is becoming a problem when they start moving out in the rings. So that means moving out in the first ring, second ring, or third ring, and where they are at these different resistance levels. And then as soon as they do that, we're supposed to think about, so how do I actually deal with somebody who needs more knowledge, which is resistance level 1? And if they are at the second ring, they are actually have an emotional reaction. That means that they are thinking, okay, so, and there can be different reasons for why they are positioning in the resistance level 2, which says that I don't like it. And depending on what they are responding, we should figure out what we should add to them if those are the people that we want to move. And the third ring is I don't trust you level, or I don't like you level, which means that it can both be towards the agile process, or it can also be towards us as managers. How do we actually handle the situation of implementing agile? And regardless of which one of those, Rick Mauer, who's kind of the founding fathers of the resistance levels in this game, has some great descriptions on things that you can do and you should know of when you are handling resistance within an organization. But I think one of the keys that he is mentioning is actually that you should be aware. You should be able to. Sorry, my phone was just ringing in. I just want to close it off. Sorry for that. One of his important keys is that he says that you can only figure out how people are responding when you talk to them. That means that you have to go and investigate. And we have tried to implement that in the same way in the game. So you need to actually look at them to see what feedback you're getting and then make your response to it. But that's so being in front of the boat does not necessarily mean you have a problem, but it just means that you have different positions in the chains that you need to handle at the same time. So you have someone in front, someone in the back. So
And normally that, I'm assuming, would take two different approaches, right? You cannot help the ones in front of the boat in the same way as the ones in the back. So it was actually easier for yourself if you can keep the herd together.
exactly. It's also what we pretend as leaders and managers within organization faced with changes. We are often taught, or we have heard about a chain theory that actually gives us all the answers. So if I do this, it will solve the issue. So if you have everybody up in the beginning of the chains, like we have there on the board, we should be able to create a sense of urgency, or we should be able to make sure that we deliver, that we focus on deadlines and so on. But there are no such trick in the real world that you could just do one action and then everybody just comes along. It's simply not possible. So it's more a mindset of, so who should I focus on and what should I focus on with my initiatives and my limited resources that you have. And in this game, you have 100 hours, which is very limited. And we also in the games trying to create the same kind of feeling that you have resources, scarcity, and you also have little in the first chapter. In this game, you have very little movement, and it's very frustrating to play a game and you can't get people to move around. Similar to real life, you can't just go out and, as a manager, and spread some magic powder and everybody comes along. It's not how the world turns.
How nice would that be, though?
Yeah, how nice. We as managers are very often thinking that's possible, but it isn't. So it's more like be a little more strategically thinking about your resources and initiatives, and don't think of one.
How did you think about your resources life? What thoughts went in?
I was kind of thinking, the first thing is how to communicate and think about people reacting. And in the beginning, I had a lot of people reacting towards with resistance. So I was thinking, I need to work with them on resistance levels, get them down. And I can see what I did compromise. You can see here on this picture, you can see I had a lot of people in resistance level 2 and 3. And then I made a couple of moves, and I was kind of thinking, I need to get them in resistance level, down in resistance level, and then I will try and move the process or the implementation further on. But I need people to be able to listen to me first.
Okay, so
and
your
that
first
has been my
priority
focus.
was resistance.
Yeah, my first priority was resistance.
And it looks like you also achieved it pretty well. If we look at you started here, right? And then already here?
Yeah, but I compromise speed. So you could also be in a situation where you have to argue that we are going to leave someone behind. So you could be in a situation where we don't have time to get everybody on board. You have to push. We have deadline in 2 weeks. So then it's a matter of, okay, so what functions and who are we going to leave behind? It's kind of a cruel thing to say, but that's sometimes the life of implementing some changes into an organization, also cultural wise. So that's where I am right now. And now I have to make my last choice, and I have 10 hours left, which is also annoying because some of the options I would like to choose will cost me a little more. But I'll make my last choice now, and let's see. I'm expecting everything will move. I got 7 points. That's pretty okay. I lost 1. Can you update?
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
So if you had to leave someone behind here, would it be who is this guy? Frank?
Frank, terminal operator. Would I leave him behind? You see, if I knew a little more about, okay, I should think terminal operator. He's been the cause of conflict with peers. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't read enough about him. I would probably read a little bit about him to think about whether I should prioritize him or not. But I know, generally speaking, from change management, why do we keep focusing on people who's behind it in resistance levels when we have, if you go to the game board there, you will be able to see that you have a lot of people who is we should just take
clearing it out. 1 second.
Yeah,
there we go.
We should not be focusing on the ones that are behind, but the majority of people who's affected by it. So I think I would probably now leaving behind and not do anymore.
Yeah. Would that be a
Put them.
difficult choice for you to have to make in like in the real world? Like, or would
Yeah.
that be something like that's just business that has to be done?
No, I think it would, but reading on Frank, I could see that he's been causing problems in the future. And if I had that sense in a few times, I would also probably leave him behind and think, okay, I should focus on putting speed up. So
Mm.
I think I will. Yeah, it's a difficult decision. You ask whether it's difficult. Yeah, it is difficult to leave someone behind. I think every leader have that
Like I'm not
sense.
I'm in no way a leader, but I it sounds harsh when you say it, and of course it is harsh, but I'm
Yeah.
assuming it's also tough on the leader having to do that and make that call.
Yeah, I think we should it could potentially be a situation where you don't only leave four people, you don't only leave him behind, you could potentially jeopardize the six people that are in front and the ones that you have in the boat. So it's more like a concept of thinking, so who do I actually need to take care of here? Who's
Mm.
important right now? Because
Yeah.
you can't do it all at the same time. So
Mm. And I feel like that's also being very well illustrated here versus, as well as in real life, right? That no matter what you do, if you're trying to move the boat, the people will react. And if you try to help the people, well, then the boat will stop moving. And just like in real life, it's never black and white. But
exactly.
all right, well, let's see how you handle the next challenge live for chapter 2. Are you ready? Chapter
I'm
2 is,
I'm I'm ready.
all right. So I'm going to explain quickly what it is. So it's looking pretty good in chapter 2. Like some departments are showing really, really great effort within having adapted this agile mindset. Um, but so just as you know, you feel like people are accepting it, they're moving on, they're agreeing, it's happening. Then this best company in the world decide to acquire another company. Um, so now there has to be there has to be these two companies finding their common ground together. And this new company is actually really used to the agile mindset. That's basically their company DNA, which again also arises quite some worries around the company about, well, are we going to be outperformed? Are we going to be kind of just exchanged with these new people who are adapting to the agile? So as you can tell, like a lot of confusion, a lot of knowledge is missing from the mix, and people are of course reacting. Um, so anyway, the issue is that this agile mindset, the adaptation has basically come to a complete standstill. So what do you do now? You have really, really worried employees. You have a big change on an organizational level happening, and you're still just trying to push your agenda. So you have 100 resources. Good luck.
I think that's a very frustrating. You start at the new position. The whole board has been rearranged. If you go there, yeah, you can see this is my starting position. I don't know if the same for all. I don't. I think you inherit some of your resistance maybe, and that's a totally new position. You're now in
Yeah.
the implementation phase. You are. You still have some resistance. They've moved a little bit forward. You have two who is in the I don't like you stage, and everybody else in the boat. What do you do?
Yeah.
My first option, if you take my second option there, if you take what I did,
Oh, the second one?
yeah, you see, then both everybody is. I was thinking, okay, we
Oh,
get into the
wow.
implement. Yeah, right. I was
I'm just
thinking we.
gonna,
Yeah.
wowza.
Wow. So I was thinking, okay, we need some competences. We're now in the implementation phase. People might lack knowledge. It's a merger now suddenly. So how do we handle that? And I just lost everybody, and I don't know whether it's the new or the old ones that I lost, or everybody's just out there. They need more information. They have emotional reactions. They are left behind, and then I just, my second choice gave me 0 points. I even think I got minus on some. What did I get there?
You moved D and F in one resistance level each. So that's not completely bad.
No, that's not completely bad. Yes.
Yeah.
And now it's a really difficult. I can't figure out what will be the right strategy to move them on now.
But your process so far has been to kind of adjust their lack of knowledge, or
I was
how were
thinking,
you kind of beginning to address this?
yeah, I was thinking, I can't remember the Alistair Cockburn theory well enough to understand what are they actually asking for in terms of pushing the process, but the process should be pushed more now. I want to push it now. I don't want to wait that much longer for people to move on with me. So that's my idea here.
All right.
And I can see I did a good choice there. I'm on 52 points, and I can see that Tamara had the high score of 194. I think I got a long way to go. Will I be able to achieve that? I'm done with
That is
chapter
the
2 now.
question. Good stuff, Life. I'm
Yeah.
actually just a little bit curious, but maybe we should do that after the next chapter, because I see that that we have our viewers playing as well, and it could be a little bit interesting to see who's scoring the best. But we will do that
Oh,
at the end.
okay. Yeah. Let's do that.
So
Yeah.
so the next chapter, chapter 3, the final
Hmm.
chapter of this game, you get 100 hours of resources, and this is a really interesting chapter, I find, because what is happening is that you are actually getting this feeling that people are accepting and kind of adapting to the agile mindset. It might not be going as fast, it might not be going as, I want to say, furious, but it is happening. However, then this dilemma comes, which is that someone in sales, I think her name is Isabella, has kind of sold something that is not quite able to be delivered. Of course, sales didn't do any of this in any bad terms or anything, but they kind of ended up having to kind of make this decision to get this big client, which of course puts the developers in a little bit of a pickle because they cannot really create what has been promised. And this actually kind of is the catalyst for creating a whole lot of drama in the company, because then they are kind of drawing a parallel to the agile mindset implementation about how, well, if we're supposed to be agile, we should be communicating, there should be teamwork, and now it's just feeling like this silo decision has been made. And I think that's a beautiful dilemma, that you're trying to do one thing in a company and everything kind of goes, and then suddenly one thing happens and everything just kind of goes back up in there.
Yeah.
All right.
That's so much alive, and the conflict between sales and production is so much a real problem. It's and sales are somehow always winning on that agenda,
And why
because
is that live?
it's because it's it's business driven. I mean, we are there for the business first and foremost. So we don't want to lose any clients, and we want to provide the best service and so on. So that will always be. I think it can be a problem if you in your organization have created the mindset that there are also more important stuff than what we provide to the world. And I think some organizations might actually be in that situation where they have been having too much what is called organizational slack or lack, which means that you have created functions that are not that seems to forget about the real cause, that why we're here. We're not here to be together. We're not here to do. We're actually here because somebody likes what we are selling or what we provide to the world of service, and that should always, in my mind, be in front of people. Whatever supports that line should be supportive. That said, it does. I also know in bigger company, of course, where it's department, it's bigger production lines. It can influence in a different way. It can become a totally different scale of problem that you face. But I think it's, in my mind, I don't ever think that you should try and play the card saying, oh yeah, we can also do it differently, because we can't really do it differently. If you want to be relevant to the world, you need to be relevant in your product, whatever you bring to the market, in my mind. So it's a very realistic situation. And you know what? I don't think I handled it very well. I actually took that choice. I think, can we take that one, yeah, and have a look at that?
This one?
Yeah.
What did you choose? Sorry?
That would be my first.
Okay, so you actually chose to go to the customer and say, "I'm sorry, we cannot.
Yeah,
We
and you
cannot
know
do
what?
this."
Yeah, and you know what? I took it because I was thinking, I didn't read the option through, and I got minus on it. I was actually taking it because I was thinking, this is sorry for the people, and I should have read a little bit further down, but I didn't. So yeah, and I thought it was a deliver. I was thinking, this is a deliver choice. This is what we need to do. We need to deliver to the client, and it turned out that was not it. It was
But
actually
it was a deliver choice,
yeah, it
a
was a deliver
different
choice.
deliver choice.
Yeah, than what I thought. But yeah, maybe it was actually also a little bit. It could be a Anna's trick, where I give it this headline and then I add something below. So please read firmly what you're choosing. Ah!
Life, you cannot just put over everything on Anders, okay? You
No,
made this choice.
I think it's a good choice because it made me. Now I'm kind of thinking I need to read the options before making them. Maybe so.
Well, but it's good that you learn something everyday life.
Yeah, exactly. But
All
I don't
right.
think. I think my situation is pretty bad, to be honest. So
I
here
mean, your
I.
people are very scattered, at least.
Yeah, it seems like my problem are getting bigger and bigger and bigger because they are not collectively going anywhere right now. So
Interesting.
I'm really struggling here.
I'm going to, just for to hopefully give you a little bit more panic, I'm going to select a few other people to keep track
Oh
on here
no,
live.
please not.
Just to be a little curious. All right.
I'm going now. I took fix it and I got -6 again. How can that be?
What were you going to fix?
Yeah, fix it for the client. I told the managers to go and fix it. God damn it. I'm not very successful in this. I think it's a shitty game.
You're doing such a splendid job right now, live.
I am.
Great. All right. Well, while life is struggling here, I'm just curious. Yeah. Looks like you got pretty far. One. Oh, now I unclicked it. That was a mistake.
Let's have a look here.
It's pretty cool.
Nice.
I will make you red. Okay, so the boat is
Wow.
actually right by the end.
Wow.
I think
Nice job
that's
there.
pretty cool. And you
That
have
is,
three people in the boat.
yeah, that's
Damn.
awesome. Can
Very
you
well
click?
done.
Can you click Tracy
Yeah.
or click me off? One of us off.
Yeah, I'll click you off, I think, or Tracy off. I think you and Juan are sort of at the same place. Almost. You're one choice behind.
Okay, yeah. So we have. Do we have two situations here?
Yeah.
Okay,
We
yeah.
have two situations.
Yeah, and of course, looking at this, it's quite obvious what the difference is between these two situations. But my boat has even moved back from my last choice.
Yeah.
Because I made the stop it option, and that actually made my boat move back, I think, or was it the one previous one? Where did the boat move back?
Yeah. So from this
The
choice, you actually
to
went almost half your
half.
distance back.
Yeah. So, and I actually believe that's right. If you in that stage make the wrong choice, you can actually get a situation where things are moving back. So I don't think it's unrealistic, but you can see if you look at those two situations, Huang has a much better position than I have because he has people more closely to the boat. Even though he has resistance free, he for sure has things scattered more, and he can probably more control what is happening to people right now. Where you can see I have people in front and in resistance level 3. They are very unsatisfied with the process and how the speed is going probably, and I have people from half the circle all the way around. So I should for sure do something. I would like to see some of the highest scores. What about Tamara? How did she do?
Sure. This one.
Yeah.
Oh, she's very close to Juan here. Let me
Yeah,
remove
she
you
is.
live.
Yeah,
They're almost on top of each other.
yeah, almost on
That's a
top of
bad
each
color.
other.
Sorry. There we go.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
much.
that is very similar.
The difference is that she has people in less resistance, right? But there's a little bit of a distance between them.
Yeah.
But very beautiful. And are they having almost the same endpoints? What's the difference in points?
Let me just jump to the same spot. There we go. At this stage, Juan is at 138 and Tamara is at 194. So there is a difference.
That must be because Huang then must have made some choices that were basically giving minus and then picking it up again.
But should we try to put the profile view in with
Yes.
Juan and Tamara, or would you very much like to make your final choices live?
No.
All right, then we just move on.
Yeah, great. Let's move on.
All right. I'm going to use Tamara's data because she is our top scorer. And then we will take a look here at Juan. All right. So this is
Yeah.
the Heart of Agile model.
Yeah, so maybe we should explain that what we looked at is the host view, or maybe you want to do that. Sorry, Ida.
Yeah, okay, I can do that. This is the host view, which is sort of the facilitator view of the Acti platform. So this is where I can kind of keep an overview, as you saw earlier, both of the game board, how are you moving around, where are your choices, is everybody going down the same chapters, the same time, and so on. But I can actually also go in on an individual player and get a lot of information and data on them and their profiles. And what's even cooler is that I can now also compare two players on a theoretical layer, or sorry, at a theoretical sort of level. So here, for example, we would be able to compare. Live, I'm gonna take you anyway, just because you're here.
Yes.
You can talk and defend yourself. This is your
Yeah.
profile, the outer ring. This is how you are in this theory level.
Yeah.
And actually on the inside here, I am going to choose you, Juan. I hope you don't mind. And now we have this comparison. Live, do you want to maybe talk a little bit about the theory?
Yeah, I would love to. You can. What we're looking at is the heart of agile theory here, and you can see me. I'm the primary filter, so I'm the filter out there, and you can see I've been heavily focused on improvement, and that's probably why I created so much resistance, and probably also at the wrong times. And I have heavily been focusing on deliver, which has also been my mindset, to be honest. Because I was on the client side. I wanted to focus on deliver something, and I wanted to improve what we are delivering. So it totally complies to my temp, my pace, and my personality. But I probably forgot to reflect, and I also forgot to think about collaboration in the team on the issues that we met, and so that will be my profile there. And if we look at Huang has been able to actually focus a lot more on reflection, a lot more on or divide the resources between collaboration, reflect, and deliver, and less on improvement. So that means focusing less on what actually is the quality, what is the product we deliver, but all of the others. And that eventually got him into creating a better situation than I did. So that's one theoretic level that we can look at. If we look at can we look at the resistance?
Absolutely. Here you go.
Yeah. And here we can see we've been even better because Wang has then been, we have been equally creating more resistance than we have been reducing,
Yeah.
which also can make sense because Wang has probably also focused on the top choices, which is the Alistair Cockburn choices. Can we look at the leadership styles?
Yes. Here you go.
Okay, there's a difference there between what we see here on the left side is me. I'm the yellow one, and Huang is the purple person. And I've been focusing on affiliative more than Huang, and Huang has been focusing on, is it democratic style there?
Uh, this
The
is
one below.
commanding.
Yeah, what is below?
Oh, this is coaching,
Yeah, coaching. So,
visionary.
which also makes a lot of sense because the coaching style is more relevant for agile way of working, where we are leaving the waterfall method and going into a situation where it's more like coaching on specific ways of working.
Hmm.
So I think that complies with how the things should work. So those are the three theories we have in there.
Yeah. Um, And just quickly, because I don't know this heart of agile theory too well, but from what I could understand about it is that it's a very like people-oriented theory layer, right? That it really is not so much about all of these other Scrum, whatever, about
No.
processes, and this is how you do it one step at a time. This is very much you kind of need to put your finger in the ground, make your own status on the more emotional and behavioral kind of levels of your team.
Yeah. You're right. I think I that's also how I understand the theory. I have to be respectful towards people who might know it better than me. But that's also what I understand. It's not about learning how to use the Scrum board or how to use um, what's it called, sprints or
Mm.
do certain things technically wise. It's about understanding what happens to people who's affected by it and how could we understand that. So I guess that's it. We're getting to the end of our time. Ida, would
We
you?
are. So before we lose everybody completely, I saw that Tracy was in the car. She's gonna get that handout, don't you worry. But before we lose you completely, and of course, any questions, please put them in the comment. We will definitely get back to you with thoughts and questions you might have. But we have a few more events coming for this year, and I think it would be a shame not to mention it quickly to you guys. You've been wonderful. We would love to have you on again. But next Tuesday, we have our new game, which is this salary negotiation training, which is going to be really, really cool to kind of dig into. We haven't really done very much with that game yet. And anyway, every Tuesday we have a new game, new theory, new really cool expert guests are coming on, and we're really, really excited to have them and pick their brain. And I hope to see you guys again. And I really hope that we managed to pick up your Tuesday at that little ray of sunshine and just make it a pleasant afternoon for you.
And don't book us in if you want to know more. Let's hear from you if you want to have more information. So don't wait. Let's meet up if you have more questions or anything related to the games.
I mean, we're all big bunch of nerds in here. We would love to talk anything actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
All
maybe we
right.
should say something about the game building process. We have a game building release of an AI game builder coming soon.
Yeah, and we actually have a sort of a premiere on that on the 9th of December. It's going to be exactly like this. It's going to be a free online linked event where we are just going to show you how cool and how easy it actually is to make an Axie game with the use of AI.
Yeah.
And on that note, I think that's all that we have time for. So just have a very, very pleasant rest of your afternoon and evening. Get home safe and good morning. And wherever you're joining in from, of course, just have a wonderful time. And thank you, of course, Life as always, being my trusted guest.
Thank you for running it.
All right.